I have some veggie prep to do from the farm over this last weekend. I went and picked up some things, and they've been sitting here on my table for the last couple days. It's been busy, but I now have a few minutes. I need to get these done. And since I have not been able to do a live because the weekends have just been super, super crazy busy here recently, I just thought I would come have you guys hang out with me while I prep all these veggies and get them in my freezer for future things for this year, or this next year actually. We're going to be heading to the farm later this week to go get a whole bunch of corn so we can do another big batch of our Mexi corn for the freezer. And so yeah, I need to get all this stuff in the freezer and get it prepped and ready to go. I bought a big huge box of freezer bags so that I can get this stuff done, as well as the stuff that I'm going to be picking up at the farm later this week. I'm going to grab some corn, like I said. I'm going to grab some broccoli and a few other things that I want to pick up there, just to have in my freezer. I went ahead and grabbed some fresh garlic while I was there. I am not going to make garlic pucks with this like I did before. I'm actually just going to separate these into the cloves, put all the cloves in this bag, and put them in the freezer. And then I will have fresh garlic when I want fresh garlic. So I am going to go ahead and peel all of it though, because I don't want to have to deal with trying to peel it when I'm ready to use it. So I am just going to go ahead and peel all of this garlic, get it into these freezer bags, and have it ready and prepped for me to use up whenever I need some fresh garlic. Kind of a pain in the butt, but we're going to just do it as quickly as we possibly can. I have other things I need to do this afternoon, so I don't have a ton of time to sit here and deal with all this, but I'm going to do as much of this garlic as I can and get this in the freezer, and then if I have to come back and do the rest of it later, I will. But it's been so long since I've had a chance to do a live video that I thought I would just hop on here and chat with you guys a little bit while I do these veggies and get all this stuff prepped and ready for my freezer, so that I have it for me to use. So as you pop in, say hi, let me know you guys are here. I have missed hanging out with all of you guys, not being able to do lives on the weekends. It's just been super, super busy. We had Vacation Bible School at church a couple weeks ago, and that took up a huge Saturday. This last Saturday I was helping hubby with something, and so just has not worked into my schedule here recently to get a live video done on the weekends. So we are going to do them again, I promise, but I know it's awful. I'm going to try to do this today. I normally sit down in front of my TV and turn on a YouTube and do this, but I just thought I would show the garlic. I'm not going to get all this done on my live. I'm going to just go sit in the living room and do this in a little bit. But I do have some other veggies that I'm going to prep with you guys while I'm here, because I do need to get these veggies in my freezer. This is the time of year for me to really stock up on things so that I don't have to buy them from the grocery store if I don't want to. I am trying to eat as much just farm fresh stuff as I possibly can right now, and we're really trying to avoid doing anything that has a lot of additives and a lot of extra things in it that are just not good for you. We made a huge change in our diet several months ago, and it's been a huge help with some things that I have been dealing with, some health things that I've been dealing with, and having that making that kind of a change and getting away from a lot of the stuff that's in the foods that we eat has been a huge help. So we are going to try to continue doing that as we move forward into the winter, or fall and winter, and still be able to have delicious stuff. So yeah, so I have got garlic to do. I have a couple of ginormous, these are sweet onions that I picked up at the farm that I go to. It's called Thistledown. These are very similar to a Walla Walla sweet onion, which is what we have here in Oregon. Those are our sweet type onions that you use for all kinds of things. I'm not an onion fan, but I do cook with them a little bit. As long as they're chopped up pretty small, then I will go ahead and eat them. But so I'm going to save the rest of this garlic because I'm not going to bore you guys with doing garlic for the next whatever amount of time we're on this live. I can always do my garlic later. As I said, I like to put on a YouTube channel, or one of my favorite YouTube channels, and do it that way. So I'm going to go ahead and get these onions prepped and get these ready to go. I should have grabbed my my chopper. I'll go over and grab it. I have a chopper that I got off of Amazon. I love this thing. It's amazing. And I use it for all kinds of things when I don't want to sit here and chop it all. I can use it. And so I'm going to grab that in just a second because I'm going to need it too for the carrots. I just got a whole bunch of stuff on, what day did I go to the farm? It was over the weekend at some point. I went out to Thistledown and grabbed a bunch of stuff out there. And as I said at the beginning of this, I'm actually headed back out there later this week to go get our, I'm going to go grab our year's worth of corn. I know corn is a big controversial thing with a lot of people. The farm that we get our corn from is a non-GMO farm. They are the farm's been here forever and ever and ever and ever. It's been here for a really long time. And I know how their corn is raised out there. And my husband loves corn. And I'm going to eat corn. I'm going to eat fresh. And so I will go out to the farm this week and buy. Last year we did, let's see, what did we do? We did 40 ears of corn last year. We processed together and we made several big bags of Mexicorn, our homemade Mexicorn with the bell peppers. We did red bell peppers and jalapenos in it. But this year I found out with the 40 ears of corn that we did last year that it was not enough for us for the year. We ran out 4 months ago. So I am going to go actually out there and get 75 ears, I think, this time. And we're going to do those instead. And still do our Mexicorn. The majority of it that we process will be Mexicorn. And the rest of it that we're going to do is probably just some straight plain corn for whatever I need to put corn in. We'll have just regular corn. But right now, this is the time of year where I try to get as many of those things as I possibly can throughout the summertime and get them in my freezer. I'm not a fan of canned corn. I don't like canned corn. I don't know about you guys, but I am not a fan of canned corn. It's not my favorite thing. So I try not to do that. I usually will just do frozen corn. I do fresh and then I freeze it. And that's how I process it for the year. And I just have it in my freezer ready to go. So these onions are ginormous. I also grabbed some carrots. This will be my second batch of carrots, getting them in the freezer. They have the best carrots out there at Thistledown, so I try to grab as many carrots out there as I possibly can. And so we do carrots, we do celery, we do green beans, we do onions, we do the corn, we do several different things like that that are just easy freezer staples for us to have in there for me to cook with throughout the year. And so it's always really super nice to have that stuff in the freezer. Already have it chopped up and prepped ready to go, so I know I don't have to do anything with it. Clean off this cutting board real quick. All right, I'm gonna step away just for a second. I'm gonna grab my, oh no, here it is. I thought I forgot I already got my chopper out. So this is what I'm talking about right here. If you guys don't have one of these, you need to get one. They are absolutely incredible. I love this thing. I got it quite a while ago, and it just makes processing stuff so incredibly easy. Has lots and lots of attachments that come with it. You can do spiral, different kinds of things with it. Corn is my hubby's favorite. He loves corn. And he would be absolutely devastated if we didn't have corn in the freezer. So I have, oh good, yeah, I love it. So I have to do enough corn for the year so that we have it. He was pretty upset when we ran out of corn 4 months ago and we didn't have any left in the freezer. He was pretty sad. So this year I told him I would do 75 years, and let's see if that gets us through fall and winter into spring. And I will even freeze some whole cobs of corn in the freezer, because every now and then he gets a hankering for corn on the cob for some reason. This has been the farm that I have gone to since I was a kid. I was super little. My grandmother used to take me with her to the farm, and it was always a highlight of my summertime to get to go out there with her. So I'm going to cut these down into some smaller chunks, and then we're going to just put them through our chopper. And I like to just fill a bag with onions, with diced onions, in my freezer, just because you can break them up. Once you get them in the freezer, you can take them, you can, you know, whack the bag on the counter, and you're gonna break them up enough that you can get out what you need to cook with. It just makes it super easy. I already have a couple of bags in my freezer ready to go for whatever I need to cook with. And so we're just gonna chop these up real quick. I absolutely love this chopper. It is amazing. I love how easy it makes it. I like to do it on the smallest dice on here. I just think it makes it easier for me, because as I said, I'm not a huge onion fan. I don't really like onion, so I try to do it as small as I possibly can. These onions were humongous. That's the only part I don't like about these choppers, is you really have to pound on them to get stuff chopped up sometimes. All right, so I'm going to fill this bag. I need to get my bag holders out. I have bag holders up there. I always just forget to grab them though. But see, I just put that in my freezer. I know. I've noticed that with this thing, with some things you really have to pound on it to get things chopped for some reason. And it might be just because I'm putting too much through it at one time. Oh yeah, it is really shaking my camera, isn't it? I didn't notice that. Hopefully it's not making anybody sick. Well, we're not having an earthquake here, so. I just want to finish this onion real quick and then we'll move on. I'll show you guys what else I got from the farm. It'll be less jiggly for the camera, I promise. One little tip is, if you have an onion that's doing that, pull that piece out, that center piece out of there, and don't use that, because that's going to give you a really bitter taste. All right, that's full again, so let's empty this in a bag. So how is everybody's weather where you guys are at? Where is everybody from? Let me know. I live in Oregon. I'm an Oregon girl through and through, born and raised here. Oh, good. It would honestly bother me, but I'm glad it doesn't bother you. Tennessee, nice. I have friends that live in Tennessee. Our weather has been great here too. Luckily, this last week it's been a lot cooler. We have been in the middle of a heat wave here, which has been horrible. It's been over 100 degrees, which has been terrible for us. But this last week it's actually not been too bad. So. have some childhood friends that live in Tennessee. All right, last couple pieces and then we're done with the onion. All right, there we go. Clean off our blade real quick. And then I'm going to move on to something a little less jiggly. Oh, nice. That's how I am with Oregon. I was born and raised here my whole life. I've never lived anywhere else. I've always lived in Oregon. Born and raised, lived in the same house for the first 18 years of my life. I did move one town over right after high school. I moved out with a girlfriend from high school. We were roommates for a little over a year, and then my husband and I decided to move out here where we're at. So I moved back to Springfield where I was born and raised, and we've been here in our house for almost 35 years. I absolutely love Oregon. I know I'm kind of partial because I've lived here my whole life, but where I'm at right here in Oregon, I am within an hour of the beach. I'm within an hour of the mountains. I'm within an hour of, hiking all kinds of places. We literally have a ton of stuff available for us right here where I'm at. So I love that I'm so close. So we grabbed a huge bag of green beans. My husband and I love green beans. And these are all going to go in my freezer in bags. It is awesome. I love the coast. It's my favorite. And so we spend a lot of time there. In fact, we're heading there in a couple of weeks. We're going to be headed that direction to go spend time with my husband's family. They are going to meet us over at the coast, and we're going to spend a weekend with them, probably 4 days over there. We rented a beach house, which is awesome. I can't wait. So my green beans, there's a lot of people that like to cut these down into small pieces. I like to just leave them whole like this because I roast my green beans. I'm not a huge fan of boiled vegetables. I don't really like boiled vegetables. So I like to just take these beans, snap off the little ends. Anywhere that doesn't look super great, snap it off, fill in my bag. And I just put enough in these bags that it's going to be enough of a meal for us for whatever I'm doing, whether I'm putting them in stir fries. I love that I have them this way because then if I want to chop them for a casserole, green bean casserole, for the holidays or whatever, I've got fresh green beans in my freezer ready to go for that. Fresh green beans, how different do they taste from what, like a canned green bean? You like boiled to me, it's a texture thing. That's my problem is, I was raised eating vegetables that had just everything boiled out of them. There literally was no flavor left in. They were so mushy and nasty, and I can't eat stuff like that. Now it makes me want to throw up. I have a severe gag reflex when it comes to mushy, soft vegetables, so I just don't do it. So I am not a huge fan of those. This right here reminds me of my grandmother. My grandmother and I always snapped beans every year. I would go to the farm. The same farm I went to get all this stuff is the same farm that I would go to with her to get all kinds of... Oh, boiled. I don't like boiled because they're mushy. It's not that the taste is different. It's because vegetables that have been boiled are really, really soft and really, really mushy, and I can't do that texture. That's just not a texture that I do well with. So I'm very much a texture person when I eat. I don't like certain textures. I'm not a big fan of garbanzo beans. I will eat hummus. I'm okay with hummus, but I'm not going to eat a plain like a garbanzo bean out of the can or anything like that. I don't like the texture of them. So I'm very much a texture person. It's just how it is. And so that's why I don't like canned corn, because it really is a mushier texture for me. I would much rather have a frozen corn so that I know that it's still crisp and it tastes fresh and It's just something that I just enjoy the texture of and the flavor of a little bit better. So we got green beans. I'll show you guys what else we got so that we're not here forever. We got some beautiful zucchini. I grabbed 4 of them. I'm actually going to make some lemon zucchini bread in a couple of days. I have it on a, I'm going to a women's Bible study and I'm bringing that. Prepping for dentures. Could be. So we got some zucchini. We got some, these are some big, huge sugar snap peas. I got these for my husband. We actually put these in a stir fry that we did on our Blackstone last night for dinner. Grabbed some jalapenos. He's a big jalapeno fan. I grabbed some nectarines. These nectarines were huge and they are delicious. So I grabbed those. I grabbed some peaches. So these are the peaches that we got at the farm on Saturday. These are probably most likely going to be just for fresh eating. We're not going to do anything with those. I grabbed some celery, and this is just going to get diced up and put into a Ziploc bag. So if I want to add celery to a stir fry, if I want to add it to a soup or a stew or anything like that, then I've got some fresh diced celery in my freezer. I grabbed, these are the carrots that I picked up, and they are ginormous. They're huge. So these carrots, because I know where they came from, I don't wash them. Or I mean, I wash them, but I don't peel them because I know where they came from. And so I'm gonna just take those and just dice them up like they are. I think there's a lot of flavor in the skin itself or the peeling. So I like to just have the peeling on the carrot because it's not a big issue for me to not have it peeled. And I also grabbed, so these are 2 different kinds of peaches that they had at the farm that day. So we're gonna have some fresh peaches, which are gonna be absolutely delicious. I can't wait to eat those. We got some of the regular, these are the thistledown peaches, and then they had some red, I think they're called Red Harvest is the brand, or the name. So we're gonna have lots and lots of fresh fruit to eat this week. Like I said, I'm gonna get the green beans processed and the onions in the freezer. We just recently got a Blackstone, a 17-inch grill, and I am absolutely loving it. So we're using that for a lot of stuff here recently. I'm in the middle of filming a Blackstone series that should be coming out on Friday. So if you're not subscribed, go hit that subscribe button because you don't want to miss out on all of the fun stuff that we're doing on our Blackstone right now. We've got lots and lots of fun things coming up on that. Plus all these delicious fresh veggies from the farm that we're going to be using. So yeah, we got lots and lots of fresh stuff. The zucchini, we're just going to eat that fresh. I'm not a big fan of frozen zucchini. I don't like the texture of it. I don't like the flavor of it. So that we're just going to probably just eat fresh. I've got some fun recipes for it that I want to try out. You know, I was wanting one too for a long time, and I just was not wanting to pay the price that they are. So we found one on Marketplace a couple of weeks ago, and I messaged the guy and I managed to get it for a really, really good price. So I was super excited about that. So we were able to go pick that up, and we have been making quite a bit of stuff on it, and I'm super excited. We follow, there's a channel that's called The Flat Top King, and he's a retired Navy, but he uses a flat top. He's got several grills, but he uses a flat top, a Blackstone, and I get a lot of inspiration from him. So we've been doing that here recently, watching a lot of his videos and getting lots and lots of ideas for delicious stuff. Yeah, Flat Top King is the channel. It's I'll leave a link in the description of this live video. I'll leave a link down there for you guys if you want to check him out. But he does some fantastic stuff on his flat top, and really, really inspires me to get out there. And hey, Karen, welcome. So yeah, the Flat Top King is incredible. It's an incredible YouTube channel, and I've gotten a lot of really great ideas from him on things to do on our flat top since we got one. And as I said, we're headed to the coast in a couple of weeks for a long weekend with family, and our entire menu for that whole weekend is based around our flat top. So we're bringing it with us. We just got a 17-inch, so it's portable, so I can bring it with me wherever I go. I just this last weekend, I did our elder lunch at church, and I brought my brought the Blackstone with me to church that Sunday, and was able to make lunch for everybody on Blackstone, and they thought that was... I did go to the farmer's market. Yes, I got green beans. We got some, these are for hubby. I don't like peas, but these got some really pretty sugar snap peas. I got a whole bunch of onions. We just diced those up. I got some jalapenos. Got some zucchinis. I got some peaches. I got some nectarines and some celery and some ginormous carrots. These carrots are huge. So we're going to get all of that stuff. I'm not blanching them before freezing. No, I'm not. I'm just putting them in the freezers just like they are. And then I will cook them when I'm ready to cook them, whether I put them in a stir fry or if I want to roast them, which is my absolute favorite way for green beans. I will just take them and I will roast my green beans with some bacon and some onions, and my favorite way to finish them is with a little bit of balsamic vinegar at the very end, just before you serve them. And yeah, they hold up great. Yeah, my grandmother never blanched her green beans before she froze them. She always just put them straight in the freezer bags. And so that's what we've always done, and it's always been totally fine. I've never had an issue with it. Been doing it this way for years and years. So yeah, I'm just snapping them and snapping off the ends so that they are cleaned and trimmed and ready to go for me to use when I'm ready to make green beans. And they are delicious. I'll end up doing a video here pretty soon of the green beans that I do with the balsamic vinegar on them. I actually am going to do some green beans on the Blackstone. Yeah, I used to can the green beans, and I'm just not a huge fan of canned ones. I don't know why. I'm just not. I don't like canned corn. I don't like canned green beans really, unless they're going in something. But just to eat green beans, I don't like them canned. I would much rather have them just a fresh green bean that has been in the freezer, that I've been able to just roast it or you know, grill it or whatever. It's just a whole lot easier. A lot less work, I think, for myself. The only thing that I do blanch is I will blanch my my corn when I bring the corn home. As in case you missed it, Karen, I'm headed back out to the farm later this week to go get some more fresh corn. They just got their corn in, and I'm gonna go out there. Last year I did 40 ears of corn for us to get us through the year. I did several bags of homemade Veggie corn for the freezer, and then I did the just regular plain corn for the freezer. And we ran out of corn about 4 months ago, and hubby was devastated. So I'm doing 75 ears of corn this year, just to give us a little bit of extra cushion in there until next summer when the corn comes out. So it's been a little bit since we've had fresh corn, and he's a little bit. I know, especially this stuff out there at the farm at Thistledown is called bodacious corn, and it is absolutely incredible. It is so good. I absolutely love it. That's why I decided when we ran out of corn so early this last year that I would just do a whole bunch more and make sure we have plenty in there because I loved that. If you missed it, I'll see if I can find the video where I processed all of that corn from last year. I'm going to do it again this year, and I'll do another video. But we, my husband's favorite side dish is Mexicorn, and I used to buy the Green Giant in the can, and it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't love it because it does have a whole lot of salt in it. It does have a lot of things in it that I don't want to eat. So I started making my own for the freezer, and I would just take the corn. I don't cook anything other than just blanching the corn to get it off the cob. Take it off the cob, and I put it in freezer bags just like this. Portion it out with some bell pepper, some jalapeno, and some onions, and then I just put it in the freezer in the bags, and then I saute it and serve it that way. I put it in burritos, I put it in soups, I put it in stews, I put it in all kinds of stuff, and it's just so easy to have it for a quick side dish. And then I know, one, where the corn came from, and two, what's actually in the bag of corn. It's not a mystery. I'm getting away from mystery things. I'm trying to be really, really good about eating only what I know is in stuff, and trying to be really, really cautious about that. So it's been a journey. It's taken some time, because there's been times where I've wanted to do. I do freeze it on the cob. Yeah, I do. I actually have a couple left in the freezer from last year. And I am going to do a couple more bags of corn on the cob. Hubby he loves corn on the cob, but this is the thing. He'll tell me that he wants corn on the cob, and I will make corn on the cob. And then I have to listen to him complain for the next 2 days that he has corn in his teeth. Even though he flosses and brushes and everything, he still ends up with a bunch of corn in his teeth, and it just drives him crazy. So I don't do as much corn on the cob for that main reason, but we do enjoy corn on the cob, and I will make it occasionally. But I mainly just will take it and put it in the bags, just frozen solid corn, and put it in there. He's high maintenance, but I love him anyway. After almost 35 years, I would have to, I think. So I just get my bags pretty close to the size that I want for what I think is going to be a serving for us. And then if I need to add, if we have people over or whatever, and I need extra green beans, I'll just take out 2 bags. Not a big deal. He's pretty spoiled. Yep, almost 35 years. Yep, we're super close. I don't know how long you've been following me, but so hubby and I have been together for almost 35 years. We just got married 3 years ago. We're a little bit late where that comes from. It took us both a little while. We both come from difficult childhoods, and so that was something that was just never on either one of our to-do lists until a couple years ago, and we decided we needed to do it, so we did it, and wouldn't change it. I wish now that we would have done it sooner, but it happened when it was supposed to, so we're fine with that. I've actually known him since I was 13. He was my brother's friend, and we started dating when I was 19. I'm thinking about doing a Q&A live with hubby here soon, and so I'll be posting that on my community page on YouTube, so you guys can go in there and ask any questions that you guys want to ask, and then we'll do a live one weekend. Right now he works so much that he's hardly home on the weekends, but we'll find a time when we can do it. But I think it would be fun to do it because I've had a lot of new subscribers here in the last several months, and so I thought it would be super fun to do a Q&A just so people that are new to the channel or trying to get to know me or whatever, it would be an easy way for them to do that. So just be looking for that when it pops up on the community page. I'll let you guys know when we're gonna do it. How many of you snapped green beans with your grandparents? This was a pastime with my grandmother. we would make so many trips to the farm when I was a kid. We would go out and get strawberries first, because strawberries were the first thing that Thistledown would have out. So we'd go out there and she would buy so many flats of strawberries, and we'd come home and we would make freezer jam and pack her freezer full of homemade strawberry jam for the year. And then after strawberries, we'd go out and get the next thing that Thistledown had. So as Thistledown started getting all of their produce in, they started coming out of the garden, we would go out there based on whatever they had, and we would load up on what they had. We'd come home and we would start processing all of it and getting it ready so that we had plenty of stuff over the fall and winter and into the early spring for us. And so just getting to go out to Thistledown now is brings back so many special memories for me when I was a kid. Oh, that's so sad. I was very fortunate. My Grammy, that's what I called her, my dad's mom, she's the only one of the two that I was close to. They lived one street away from me my entire childhood. My grandfather passed away when I was 10, but my grandmother was around until I was in my mid-20s. And so I spent every day with her. She's the one that gave me a love of cooking and a love of, serving other people and cooking for people, and all of that kind of stuff was something that she instilled in me while I was growing up. And so being in the kitchen and getting to do, projects like this, it really just brings back those memories of my Grammy and getting to spend time with her. So I was very fortunate that I at least had one grandmother that I can say was, a huge role model in my life, and that she really influenced me. She was my biggest influence in a lot of areas of my life. So getting to sit here and snap these beans reminds me of my grandmother. It was always so fun to sit with her and do this. Oh, wow. How cool that you guys came here, though. How old were you when you came here? Have you ever been back to Poland? Do you have a desire to go back to Poland and visit? I bet that would be so fun. My great uncle, my grandfather's brother, he did a lot of research on our family way back, and traced our family back to the Blarney Castle in Ireland. And so I'd always thought it would be super cool to go to Ireland. I know we still have family there, but I don't fly. I'm definitely afraid to fly. So I don't know that ever is going to happen. It's It's not something that, as much as I would love to do it, I don't know that I would love to do it enough to get past my fear of heights. I'm just not a huge fan of anything high. Never say never. True. You never know what happens. I just have such a huge fear of heights. I'm not a fan. My husband we were redoing our siding on our house a few years ago, and I was deathly afraid to get up on the ladder to even help him do the siding up on the very top of the front of the house. I was deathly afraid. He was laughing at me because I was literally freaking out. I was not a fan of going up on the ladder. It's just not my thing. I don't like heights. Oh, that's awesome, Karen. I love that. My grandmother loved to do it all. She baked, she canned, she cooked, she crocheted. Tried to teach me to crochet, and that never happened. I'm just not coordinated enough to crochet. So in case you guys missed it at the beginning, I mentioned that I am in the middle of doing a kind of a Blackstone series. I've got a video coming out on Friday that has got the latest recipes, or the first recipes that we did on our new Blackstone that we just got. We made a delicious dinner last night. We did a delicious stir fry last night on our Blackstone. It was amazing. And I'm doing another thing tonight, and that's going to be the last recipe in that video, and so the video is going to go up on Friday. So you don't want to miss that one. If you want to see all the things that we've been making on our new Blackstone, it's going to be super fun. I have been researching a lot of recipes, and as I said, we follow the Flat Top King. We've been watching him a lot, and I've gotten a lot of inspiration from him to find new things to make on the Blackstone. So that's been super exciting. And our trip that we have planned at the end of this month down on the coast, we are bringing our Blackstone with us, since it's just a 17-inch portable, and we're going to cook. Literally everything is going to be cooked on the Blackstone. All of our meals are cooked on that while we're down there. So that is super exciting. Yeah, you should check him out. He's super fun. As I said, he's retired Navy. He was a Navy cook, and so he got the inspiration to cook on a Blackstone because he was the griddle chef in the Navy, and so they would cook omelets and scrambled eggs and all kinds of things on the flat top on the ship. And so it's fun to hear him tell stories of being on the ship and cooking. And he was telling one a couple of months ago, we were watching one of them, he was making scrambled eggs, and he was talking about how, when you're on a ship, the ship's moving and it's swaying back and forth. And he goes, when you're trying to make omelets or you're trying to make scrambled eggs on a flat top on a ship, and you just get your eggs on there, and then the waves come and the ship starts to move and your eggs are going all over the place, you start to learn the tricks of how to keep your eggs from spreading all over the grill. And so he's taught me some really great points on doing scrambled eggs on a flat top, which I had never thought before to do it this way. So that's been super helpful, getting to watch some of the stuff that he does on his flat top and be able to try some of those out here in very, very soon. We haven't done breakfast on it yet, but that is coming up. I'm going to try some. I think we're going to do breakfast for dinner one night because I want to have it I want to be able to know what I'm doing before we head to the coast in a couple weeks, and make breakfast for family while we're over there. I don't want to be, have eggs go all over the place. I want to be able to, I've got his technique down, and make sure that I know what I'm doing before we start doing eggs on the flat top. So His channel is super exciting though. His wife does all the filming, and he does most of the cooking. I would say about 95% of the cooking he does it, and so it's super fun. I found him through Zach Bates. So from the Bates family, Zach has his own cooking channel, and he had this Flat Top King. He had him on his channel, his cooking channel, and they were making breakfast burritos on the flat top, and he was giving him some pointers, and they plugged his channel, and so I went and checked him out, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. He is so good, and so that just really inspired me to keep watching his channel. So we've been watching him quite a bit. I really enjoy him. So is your channel new? So let's simplify cooking. Is your channel new? I don't think I've seen you before. I'll have to go check it out when we get done. I'm fairly new to YouTube myself. I've only been on here for about 3 years. Pretty close to 3 years. So for the carrots that I have over there, as I said, I'm not going to peel them because I know right where they came from. I'm just going to give them a good scrub. I have 2 bags. Thank you, I appreciate it. I wish my subscribers were a little bit higher. I've been really battling with sticking with it because it hasn't grown as fast as I really wanted it to. And I've mentioned this before, but you know, we put a lot of time and effort into videos, and in the 3 years that I have been doing YouTube, I've gotten 2 checks from YouTube, each of them for roughly $100, and that's it. So it definitely is not something that's supporting our family. we are living off of my husband's what he brings in a month. And I did just recently go back to work for our church part-time, and so I work for our church a few hours a day. And so that's it. My husband knows my love of cooking, and he knows my love of doing the YouTube channel. So he supports me in being able to stay home and do this. And so we just make it work. But I just keep hoping that it's going to take off one of these days, and something's going to happen, and it's going to be something that's going to at least help our family out a little bit and make it a little bit more worth my while. Because if you've never done a YouTube video before, they're a lot. There's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of planning. There's a lot of prepping. There's a lot of cooking. There's a lot of filming, a lot of editing. It really is a full-time job, and people don't have any idea what actually goes into it. They just go and watch the channels, and they don't stop to think about that part of it until you do it. I hadn't thought about it either until I started doing it, and then I was like, wow, this is a full-time job. It literally is a full-time job when I look at how much time I put into these. But my husband loves it. He loves that I get to do this. He loves that it makes me happy, that it brings me joy. And so he just supports me in continuing. I've never heard of it. What is that, Karen? Yes, you did. I'm glad you found me. Tuber chat. No, I've never heard of that. What exactly is tuber chat? It really is a full-time job. It really is. And I'm hearing more and more from other channels that I follow that YouTube is making it harder and harder for people to make a living off of it. It's not as easy as it used to be. The requirements are a lot more, and so it's a lot harder when you watch your numbers. Not to mention, somehow, I don't know how it happens, but YouTube keeps unsubscribing people to channels. Oh, nice. I'll have to check it out. I find a lot of times that my regular YouTube subscribers will message me and say, hey, I couldn't figure out where your videos had gone. I had missed you. And then they look and then they see that they've been unsubscribed from my channel for whatever reason. I'll have to go check him out. There are some channels that I've watched for years that they literally blew up overnight. Within like 2 months, they were at 10,000 subscribers. And I'm like, how is that even possible? How did they hit 10,000 subscribers in 2 months? And I've been at it for 3 years and I'm not even at 1,700. Yeah, it's unreal that there's some channels that do that. And some of the channels that do that just blow up overnight, I look at the channel and I'm like, what are they doing that they've got 10,000 subscribers? See, that's weird that you're not getting See, YouTube is just making things really hard. They're making it super hard. But I just keep plugging away and I just keep hoping that eventually something's gonna catch and something's gonna happen with it, and it's gonna be amazing one of these days. I know it, but for now I just continue to plug along. I do it because that's what I love to do. I love to get to share my love of cooking and my love of food and all those kinds of things. I love getting to share that with people, so I just continue to do my YouTube channel and continue to do it the way that I'm doing it, and just continue to hope and pray that it does something down the road. We almost got our green beans done. How about that? I have so much other stuff over here that I need to prep. I'm not going to bore you guys having you watch me do all the rest of this stuff, because it's going to take me a while to get all the carrots. I have 2 bags of carrots that are diced up in my freezer, ready to go for soups, stews, all the kind of stuff. These carrots that I got Saturday at the farm, those I'm going to slice them and into rounds, and then that way I'll have those ready for pot roast or any other kind of thing that I want to put an actual carrot coin size in, and not just a diced carrot. Yes, definitely. So what is your channel about? This is the last one right here. Last bean. But now I have all the rest of the stuff to do. I have all the carrots to slice and celery to slice and all that other stuff, and that's going to be a huge job. So that big bag of green beans gave us 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 5 Ziploc bags of fresh green beans ready for the freezer, and these are going to be absolutely delicious in all kinds of things this year. I can't wait to eat them. They do still have green beans, so I'm probably going to go back and get another big bag like that, so I can put at least another 5 more bags in my freezer, and so we'll have quite a few of the fresh green beans. And oh, nice! I'll have to go check out your channel. That sounds awesome. I'll go check it out and I'll subscribe. There's so many new channels popping up all the time. That's the other reason I like doing these lives, because a lot of times I'll find channels that I didn't know were out there. And I love getting to support new channels and small channels because, oh no, I will. I love getting to support channels that are starting out, because I know how it was for me when I was first starting out. I remember when I got my very first subscriber, it was so exciting. My husband couldn't believe that I actually got a subscriber, and, and so it was super fun to watch that grow. And then I hit, oh gosh, I think I hit 500, and it stalled for months and didn't go anywhere. And I'm like, what in the world? It would drop from, it'd go from 500, then it would go to 497, and then it'd go to 498, and then it would go to 500, it would go to 501, and then it would drop all the way back down to 480. I have no idea how that was happening, but it did that, and it was awful. So I love getting to support other channels and help them out, because so many have supported me and been there and helped me through. And even though I'm only at almost 1,700, it's still, 1,700 is better than where I was 3 years ago. So it's just nuts. So, all right, well, I think I'm going to go and prep some things. We are doing, oh, good job, Karen. I'm going to go prep some things. We are doing, I can give you a little hint tonight. We're doing pizza on the Flatstone, on the flat top grill, or Blackstone. We're going to do pizza on that tonight. And if you are new to our channel, Hubby and I are doing high protein, low carb. And so we're not eating a whole lot of breads right now, but I have a recipe that I've shared on my channel multiple times. It's for a high protein bagel dough. I've made the bagels. I've also used the dough to make hamburger buns before. They are hubby's absolute favorite hamburger bun. But tonight we're going to use it. We're going to roll it out super thin, and we're going to try it for pizza crust and see if it works. So I'm going to have to wait until Friday when the video comes out to see if that recipe works, because I'm excited to give it a try. It's been on my brain for a while, and I was going to do it in the oven on our pizza stone. But now that we have the Blackstone, I was telling hubby this morning, I said, let's put it on the Blackstone and see how this works. So I can't wait to see how that comes out tonight. If the pizza works out, I'm going to be super excited. If it's a fail, you guys will see it if it's a fail. I try not to hide anything on my channel. I show all of my successes and my failures and all those things. I try to be as real as I possibly can on this channel. There's a lot of channels out there that everything is perfect all the time. Their kitchen's always perfectly clean. Every recipe turns out perfectly. That's not me. That's not real life here. That doesn't happen in my house. I'm busy. We don't have kids, but I'm busy. We had 4 dogs up until June. We lost 2 of our fur babies, one at the first part of June and one at the end of June. So we just have 2 left now. But they keep me busy, and then working part-time for our church, and then all the other things that I do. I have a lot going on in my life, and so my house is not always perfect, and it's just life. That's just the way it is, and I can't help it. So I hope that people just accept it the way it is, and they come to see what I'm cooking, not to see what is wrong with my house, or what is wrong with my kitchen, or why my kitchen isn't perfectly put together. And sometimes it's disorganized, and sometimes it's a mess, and that's just how life is around here. We just go with it. So I'm gonna go prep that dough, because it needs to sit for a little bit before hubby gets home to do pizza. He'll be home in about an hour. We need to do that. I'm going back to the pool tonight. That has been my exercise program for quite a while. I go to the pool 5 days a week, 3 times, Monday, Wednesday, Friday in the morning, and Tuesday, Thursday nights. I go and do an exercise program to help with some chronic knee problems that I've had, and I'm happy to say that it's definitely helping out. They are feeling a lot better. And so doing that and switching to high protein, low carb, and just really watching what we're eating, trying to eat as much fresh as we possibly can and as little processed as we possibly can. I'm down about 15 pounds since the beginning of June. So super excited about that, and that is definitely helping with my knee problems, kind of getting that all sorted out and feeling a little bit better. And so I'm just going to continue with that. And so I'm going to get my dough made, get the things ready for our pizza. We're going to make pizza, and then I'm going to be off to the pool tonight to go do my exercise class and sit in the hot tub. And then I have a really busy rest of the week coming up. I've got lots of things to get done. So you guys will see the Blackstone video on Friday. Don't want to miss that. So if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button up there. Come follow along with us. Come hang out in our real life kitchen, our real life world here, where everything is not perfect, but we try to have as much fun as we can. and we try to find joy in every single thing that we can. Everything in life, there's something to find joy in, no matter what it is, and that's what we try to do. So we will see you guys in the next video. I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to do another live on Saturday, and be looking for the Blackstone video to come out on Friday, and we'll talk to you guys in the next video. Have a great day. God bless everybody. Bye.